The candle flickers, casting long, eerie shadows on ancient parchment. As you turn the page, your eyes are drawn to a chilling image, the devil himself, grinning back at you from the pages of a book that should never have existed. This is the Codex Gigas, also known as the Devil's Bible. It's not just any medieval manuscript, it's the largest, most enigmatic, and perhaps the most cursed book ever created. Weighing in at over 165 pounds, this massive tome is filled with secrets, some that are meant to be discovered, and others that are better left hidden. But why does this book carry such a terrifying reputation? To understand that, we need to go back to the early 13th century, to a remote Benedictine monastery in Bohemia, present-day Czech Republic. The monastery was a place of silence, prayer, and strict discipline. Yet, within its stone walls, a story of desperation and dark dealings was about to unfold. According to legend, a monk living in the monastery had committed a sin so grievous that his punishment was death. A slow, agonizing death by being walled up alive. This punishment was reserved for the worst offenses, and it meant that the monk would be left to die of starvation, his soul condemned for eternity. In a last-ditch effort to save his life, the monk made a bold promise. He vowed to create a book so magnificent, so all-encompassing, that it would glorify the monastery forever. But there was a catch. He promised to do it in a single night. The book would include all human knowledge, the Bible, medical texts, historical records, and even magical incantations. The abbot agreed, thinking it impossible, and the monk was granted his request. As the hours of the night passed, the monk toiled away, but as midnight approached, he realized the futility of his task. The manuscript was far from complete, and he knew he would never finish it in time. Desperate and terrified of his impending fate, the monk made a decision that would forever seal his name in infamy. He decided to summon the devil. According to the legend, the monk offered his soul in exchange for help in completing the manuscript. The devil agreed, and by morning, the Codex Gigas was miraculously finished. But the devil didn't leave without leaving his mark. He inscribed a full-page portrait of himself within the manuscript, a sinister, grinning figure staring directly at whoever dares to look. But this book was not just a testament to the monk's desperation or the devil's cunning. It was said to be cursed. Over the centuries, the Codex Gigas brought misfortune to anyone who possessed it. The monastery that housed it eventually fell into ruin, with rumors of hauntings and strange occurrences plaguing its final days. Kings and noblemen who owned the Codex Gigas met untimely and often gruesome deaths. Some believe the book was responsible, that the devil had claimed his due. Despite, or perhaps because of, its dark origins, the Codex Gigas is a masterpiece of medieval craftsmanship. It contains over 600 pages, each measuring nearly 3 feet in length, bound together in a massive volume. The text is written in Latin, in a script so meticulous and uniform that it seems almost impossible that one person could have completed it. Scholars have marveled at the precision, wondering if perhaps the story of a supernatural helper might not be so far-fetched after all. The contents of the Codex Gigas are as mysterious as its creation. Alongside the complete Bible, it contains a variety of texts, including a medical manual, a history of the world, and even a guide to exorcisms. These texts were likely chosen to serve as a comprehensive reference for the monks, but their juxtaposition raises unsettling questions. Why include a guide to exorcisms and magic alongside Holy Scripture? Was the monk trying to protect himself, or others, from the forces he had unleashed? The Codex Gigas also includes an unusual calendar, one that lists not just religious feasts but also astrological signs and occult symbols. This has led some to speculate that the monk who created it, or the devil himself, intended it as more than just a book. Perhaps it was meant to be a tool, a way to harness or control the dark powers hidden within its pages. And then there are the missing pages, entire sections of the book that were ripped out, perhaps to hide something too dangerous for the world to know. Some believe these missing pages contain secrets of the devil's pact, instructions for summoning dark forces, or knowledge that could unravel the very fabric of reality. Over the centuries, the Codex Gigas passed through many hands, each leaving their own mark on the book's strange history. It survived fires, wars, and plagues, almost as if it was protected by something, or someone. Eventually, the Codex Gigas found its way to Sweden, where it was taken as war booty during the 30 Years' War. Today, it's kept under lock and key in the National Library of Sweden, where it's carefully preserved, though rarely shown to the public. Scholars have studied the Codex Gigas for centuries, but its mysteries remain unsolved. Did he truly make a deal with the devil? And what terrifying knowledge might still be hidden within its pages? The answers may never be known. But one thing is certain: the Codex Gigas is not just a book. It's a portal to a dark and mysterious world, one that continues to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. So, the next time you see a book that seems too big to be real, too old to be harmless, or too cursed to be touched, remember the Codex Gigas. And be careful what you wish for, because some stories are better left untold.